Hey, good to be here. So I'm going to cover a topic of one of my ultimate favorite in 25 years. Pick whatever book, whatever webcast, whatever sales guy. They'll tell you things that buy this one and do it like this and you'll be saved. So amen for that. So there's much more than these 5, but I'll just cover 5 of my really personal favorite ones. 5 security fundamentals that you'll find from every single book and presentation that are actually working against you. So let's kick off. And we start, number 1, of course, our favorite firewall. Yeah, big one, you can hug it. It's unique, so unique thing that we can't live without it. But what's wrong with the firewall and especially with the segmentation? Have any of you kind of think it through? I have my big refrigerator-sized firewall here. Am I saved? Maybe, maybe not. So let's look at this from a practical example point of view. Here's your whatever application you have. You have a web server, application, database. You can continue like infinite amount of this, put in containers, put whatever you want there, and then you'll have the users. And then you buy your firewall and do the segmentation of this. So you basically put everything in the silos, but guess what? You need to drill holes, because if you isolate the bloody thing, it doesn't work. So what will happen here is that by doing that segmentation, you'll actually allow every single vulnerability in the system to be used by the bad guys or the user. So what will eventually happen is that you spend huge amount of money by doing something that doesn't really help you in anything. So, bad guys, hey, there's a web server, I'll grab your money, I'm good to go. If you put it like this, it kind of makes sense, but then again, we love segmentation. So how can we survive? How can we evolve? In the cybersecurity, there is no certainties. There are a couple of really good technologies at the moment, or should I say as frameworks that are kind of giving us hope that we can actually save ourselves. One of those is something that a Gartner named as a hybrid mesh firewall. Marketing stuff. But the idea behind this kind of unique in the sense that you'll create your environment from the cybersecurity defense point of view, and instead of having one device that is actually executing the policy, you'll push it down towards the environment. And it could be that it's still the firewall, it could be router, switch, workload, kernel, whatever third-party thing that you'll have in your environment that is actually executing the policy. If you go a little bit deeper on this, there's another thing here which is called nano-segmentation. That is a really promising technology at the moment, because instead of doing that previous cool animation that I actually spent 15 minutes of doing that, we start to segment the environment not just from the network point of view, but more like a business point of view, that what is the environment actually producing? And instead of using ports, protocols, and those type of things, we actually use processes, memory segments, everything that is in there to be used. And that is cool avenue at the moment, because you can look at the environment and not just from the A to Z. Every single process that is producing something in your data center can now be used as an object inside of your segmentation. What does that mean in practice? You have something that is broken there, just like in my previous cool animation. You can now pinpoint and surgically take that bad thing away, because you're starting to do the segmentation starting from every system call inside of the kernel. Takes a bit of to kind of understand what it is, but for me, being in the kind of cybersecurity 30 years or so, started beginning of the 90s, this is one of those cool things that I've seen for a while. But yeah, keep buying firewalls if you want to do that. MFA, multi-factor authentication, another buzzword. So what's wrong with the MFA? Well, a lot. There's so many things wrong in MFA that I can't even list them in the same slide. The biggest problem The underlying issue with MFA is that the concept of identity is too narrow. If I'm a bad guy, stole a laptop there, or the phone for a lady that is doing the emails there, so I stole your phone. I try to get into the environment, pushing in that, hey, if there's an MFA, I'm just bouncing it in and somebody will accept me to in. Or, as we read from newspaper, if you want to get into the environment that has an MFA, call to the service desk. Call them, I lost my laptop, lost my phone, need to do the work, big deal coming, I'm a sales guy, help me, and they let you in there, enroll your laptop and phone to the system. So, easiest way. I've been in a pen tester, so easiest way to get in is USB stick still. Back in the days, it was the CD or DVD, because you can write on top of that, like getting lost in the presentation, but we'll get back to the program. So you can write in a CD, naked pictures, holiday 2000 and whatever. Throw it in there, and it will end up in every single CD drive in the company. So, yeah. But yeah, so there's a lot of things that are wrong in MFA. So how to improve, how to evolve? As said before, the concept of identity needs to be wider. Who is coming in, with what device, from where, what is he or she planning to do, and that is conditional still. We have a technology called proximity, which means that if I have a web service enabled with the zero trust access, the phone that is the MFA thing, like it nowadays is, has an understanding that is it actually nearby the laptop that is requesting access to the cloud. So that is a cool stuff happening in this. And of course, passwordless, so thank God at the Cisco I don't need to remember passwords anymore, so after the holidays, like what's my password? I have my finger still, and that's it. Don't saw it. Don't drink and saw. So yeah, get rid of the passwords, and there's nothing to be stolen. That's kind of the message. But if nothing else, MFA in its purest form is dead. It needs to be something else. It needs to be a wider concept of understanding what is going to be happening if you allow that access to the environment. Classical SOC. Oh boy, which one of you are doing SOC or the in-house or buying it from as a service? Raise your hand. A couple of guys. What about this side? Just one. Oh man, that side won. That is an interesting. You put garbage in to outstanding things, and it's still garbage. What is the problem? What is the underlying problem of classical SOC that is collecting the logs from environment? Anyone? It's in the screen. It's there. So if I have a log entry, oh, was there a kind of comment? Oh, no. Get a microphone or join with me on the stage if that's the case. If there's a log entry coming into your SOC that it's Marko who logged into the system, how the hell are you gonna kind of make the difference? Is it actually me? Or malware impersonating as me with the stolen token or whatever? Or just one random guy that actually accidentally walked towards the laptop that was open? So there's no way of doing that. But still, if you want to buy these, go ahead and buy. We sell these things too also. But if you want to evolve, that's on this next slide. Because the most promising thing with this type of approach is to kind of go towards integrating ecosystems to talk to each other. What does that mean? That's the left side. So you build your open defense, once again, in a way that technologies can talk to each other. Not at the log system, but at the very practical API level, or use whatever technology you want. But they need to talk to each other, because if your trusted firewall is seeing something, you want to know what every single switch is seeing in a system or environment or data center, and put them together at the very practical middle layer level. So you basically create an ecosystem that is talking to each other, take one outcome of that and put that in your SOC. Two things are happening. Instead of getting that Marko is logged in, you'll get everything that we know about this event in a one line. And because it's a one line, not raw data, you'll save a ton of money by license of your whatever SIM platform you have. And with that free capacity that you'll have here in your SIM or SIEM, you can start to put other things there, like network performance, application behavior, whatever type of resilient-related things. So kind of streamlined approach towards the defense, build an open platform, and then complement it with other type of technologies. As I said, there's no certainties in the cybersecurity. There's absolutely nothing that you can buy that will make you safe, but you can buy and do things much smarter way and save money and buy those things that you actually need to secure your environment. Kind of makes sense. Ecosystem game nowadays. VPN. Don't need to ask how many of you are using VPN. We need privacy. Is somebody that is not using a VPN? That is an interesting, there's almost, not anymore, but almost like weekly basis, somebody's telling me a story that we have a VPN, we are all good, we are all safe, so nothing bad will happen to us. So, yeah, right. So what's wrong with the VPN? Pretty much the same thing. That's another animation that took another 15 minutes to do. So exactly the same thing, that you'll connect your device to the environment that it's yours or cloud or whatever nowadays. So what's wrong with this? Multiple things. If the device that you are connecting through the VPN to the environment is compromised, or somebody is using the device to do the bad things, you end up in trouble, because that bad thing will go towards your environment, and eventually the bad guys are in your environment. And because it's worldwide privacy tour here, anyone, South Park? Worldwide privacy tour? You can't even see that, because it's encrypted. Usually I used to ask a question that is somebody of you kind of looking at what's happening inside of your encrypted tunnels, or doing filtering inside of a VPN tunnels, and you'll get those kind of, maybe he's doing it or she. That's a problem. VPN was outstanding technology back in the 90s or so, but we need more. How can you evolve? Pick your favorite technology, use open source, do whatever you want. You need to start to, once again, do something that is more leaning towards the micro-segmentation. This has so many kind of buzzwords: zero trust network access. You pick your acronym or pick your whatever you want to do. But the main point here is that instead of connecting devices to your environment, you connect applications to your environment in a way that they are never going to be connected directly. So you isolate applications and users, you're looking at what's happening there, and you use microtunnels to do that. In this case, if the endpoint is compromised, there's a malware running, bad guys are doing whatever they are doing, there's two additional things that you'll get with this. Of course, it's the application traffic only that is going towards your environment, so bad guys need to use the application to do the hacking. And of course, at the between, you'll see what is happening, because microtunnels are terminated the SSE service that you'll have middle. Kind of makes sense. But still VPNs, hey, who put everything there? I don't know about your country, but in my country, there was a huge service provider case where the guy that was doing the maintenance of a customer get groovy and decided to install the VPN, used MFA to maintain the customer's environment from his home laptop. And that was compromised, and they ended up destroying the whole kind of environment. Ransomware, oh yeah. So MFA was used, VPN was used, everything burned down, so yeah. ain't life sweet. But anyway, Zero Trust access in some of its variants is going to be helpful. There's a lot that's happening in this world right now, so stay tuned. But anyway, don't connect people with weird devices to your environment with VPN. Last one, vulnerability scanning. Anyone doing vulnerability scanning? Oh, that has been one fat license that you guys bought. So I'm happy for you. So what's wrong with the vulnerability scanning? It's this. You are scanning the tip of the iceberg when there's kind of stuff underneath that you don't even know about. I would love to be that sales guy to get the commission for that. Hey, you're scanning things that like this, and the world is there, but hey, don't look at there, look at this, and by the way, $100 million or something. One customer said to me back in the days when I was also talking about vulnerability scanning that I buy every single scanner you have with the list price if it scans the unknown vulnerabilities. No, I don't have that. This is a really tough one to be better in this game because we need to kind of assume that we are already breached. Somebody's there with the VPN exploiting MFA. We need to really, really go away from our comfort zone and move the world where we describe it as unknown unknowns. Has anyone heard that kind of term before or heard me before in the same event a year ago? Tip. I keep telling the story of unknown unknown because it means that we are dealing with the things that we don't even understand that we don't understand. Kind of dual thing. Sounds like a CISP or CISM questionnaire, so double negative, double positive. But yeah, so there are things. So a couple of examples, horrible examples. 9/11, before that, airplanes were meant to be going to Maldives or sunny place, have Lumumba, and that sort of things. After 9/11, weapons of mass destruction. Horrible example, kind of, you get the point. So we need to move to the world where we hunt things that we don't know what to hunt. So we need to do threat hunting, but we don't know what we are looking for. We need to do all of these things that we discussed, kind of nano Marko segmentation, looking at identities in a different form. And that's freaking hard. I said I've been doing too long cybersecurity, and the maturity curve goes like this for professionals. You can either disagree or agree. You think that you can prevent, well, sooner or later you figure out you can't prevent. The second is that you can detect. And if you can detect, you can prepare. Not going to happen. So you end up in a very dark, cold room that everything around you is probably burning, but you don't know that it's burning. But either way, we are there to help. So Cisco, we have a muscle. So you can nowadays buy a license that is a technology that contains our SOC services that will do the threat hunting for you, and you'll do whatever you want. So get the better data in your SIM platform. Customers usually have the best understanding of their environment, hopefully. And partners are usually much more agile than we as a Cisco, so that's kind of the thing. And AI, of course, there cannot be a presentation without an AI. So you have to put it in the slides, almost like a company policy. But best kind of thing for me is it's called the Mehiläinen, which is a private hospitality chain in Finland. The way they do this is that they take the whole network data, what has happened every single day, and by the end of the day, they dump that to the language model. And it's reference customers out, and then they ask questions. What's anomaly? What are the things that we have a lot happening? What are the things that are rarely there? And they have a dialogue with the language model that what's going on there. For me, it's the best way of kind of going kind of augmented way of looking at what's happening in your environment. But yeah, so 4 seconds, 3, 2 and out of time officially. So, but yeah, last slide. Bad guys will always win because we know that we are constrained about our knowledge, resources, budget, everything. And guess what? They win because they know your environment better than you do. So, and if you combine that with blind trust of technologies that we covered today, 5 of them, there are much more, you're doomed to lose. But thinking differently, educating yourself, that's all free. So if this is the first time you hear about these things, go to the library, read. Look at the YouTube. The world is not short on videos, but think differently. If somebody's telling you the story, buy the biggest firewall in the planet, you'll be saved. Maybe it's time to think differently. And then, if you need to buy something, that most likely makes much more sense than rushing out there and buying things. That's it. That's for me. Thank you very much.
Well, Marko, so many questions.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and first, actually, that's not a question, that's kind of challenge.
Okay.
Vulnerability scanning. Prove me wrong. I scan to be safer than a neighbor. I just do the scanning to be safer than a neighbor or a company which doesn't scan. So, and I attract less attention because of effort required.
Whatever makes you sleep better. I'm easy on this. For me, if there's 2 systems, the left one is fully patched, every single thing, and the right one has never been patched. They are equal for me. Because there's equal amount of vulnerabilities in the fully patched system, but we just don't know them yet. They are in the news tomorrow. But hey, whatever makes you sleep better.
So effort will be required, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Then, Marko, does Cisco have any solutions for securing AI?
Yes. That's a funny one because, I said, AI needs to be in every single slide because otherwise it's not a valid presentation. But there's 2 sides of this story. The first one is that, of course, we need to use these language models to understand our environment better. But at the same time, which based on my understanding and talking to CISOs and customers and partners, that language model itself is a huge attack window. And nobody kind of gets this. So if you have running, if you go in a hacking phase, download the kind of half-baked model and start to do things, first of all, there's absolutely no guarantee what that model is having in them, plus the configuration files, unscannable, putting things in your environment. So with AI, yes, we'll have both of these. We use AI that you can understand the environment better, but we also focus on language model, pen testing, red teaming, and try to break your language model because eventually it's going to break.
Do they talk to each other, like outside AI and our AI? Are they communicating outside our control?
You'll use Skynet happen. Build it in the way you want, but either way, you need to control the AI because it's, once again, it's not an AI. It's a freaking algorithm running in a box that human built. If it's a human done, it has vulnerabilities in. So you need to look things from downwards, upwards, or down, whatever. You need to kind of understand what you're doing with the AI.
Is it still saving the time and effort, or we just spend the time we gained just controlling the results?
For me personally, next time I will be using AI to do the animation of my slide because it's probably better than I'm with the PowerPoint. So that's my answer on
All right,
that.
last one here. Does Cisco have plans to develop security solutions for cars with modern electronics on board? Cars, modern electronics?
Car ecosystem, that is an interesting, because, oh man, that answer will take ages to answer.
No, thank you very much.
Exactly. So talk to me with the booth. I'll cover that deeply because I know too much.
Thank you.
Thank you.